What's going on, guys? Super Insane 18 here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a Kashtira Heatsoul deck profile and combo tutorial. Huge shout out to Luke Tyler YGO. He's now won 2 different regionals with this deck and is pretty much the pioneer of this strategy and almost definitely the reason you are seeing an uptick in Kashtira players. So go ahead, check out his channel. I did make some changes to fit my personal preferences, so we're going to go ahead and go through the deck, show you guys the combo. His video that he just uploaded actually showcases a lot more combos. So again, make sure to check it out. Let's go ahead and jump on in. With the most recent ban list, we of course have back our 3rd copy of Kashtira Unicorn. So we are playing 3 because it is essentially 1 card combo. We are playing 3 Fenrir. Again, obviously the fact that this card has dodged another ban list is absolutely crazy. So you're obviously going to max out on it. We are on 3 copies of Riseheart. This is just consistency. And then we have our one of our Scareclaw and our one of our Ogre. Ogre is actually important now because Preparations is a much better card with SP Little Knight being in the format. You can always just resummon whatever they banish off of your SP, and it's kind of crazy. We have our 3 copies of Dimension Shifter. This is obviously a very controversial card. A lot of people are begging for this card to be banned, and honestly, I understand why. If you're not playing Dimension Shifter yourself, it never feels good to get shifted. Really strong Floodgate hand trap, so probably deserves a ban, but it's still here, so we're still playing it. We have our 3 copies of Ash Blossom. This is just the most generic hand trap. We have our 3 copies of Moonlit Chill. I would prefer to run something like Effect Veiler because Effect Veiler isn't specific to special summons, but unfortunately Effect Veiler has to go to the graveyard, meaning that if you are playing Shifter, you cannot also use Veiler, which just makes Moonlit the better option, and it still works. I mean, it kind of sucks that it's just specific to special summons, but you also do get that ability to burn them if the monster leaves the field, which can potentially help you in time. And finishing up the monster lineup, we have our 2 copies of Ghost Bell. While this does conflict with the Shifter, because ideally your opponent's not going to have a graveyard, there are a lot of strategies going first that will want to utilize their graveyard, and if you don't open the Shifter, you kind of need something else, and so I just feel like Bell is the option there. You could also play Droll, but I just really don't like the way that Droll conflicts with Shifter. It kind of conflicts in the same way, but honestly, it's just, I feel like Bell is a little bit of the safer option. Droll is the much more high-risk, high-reward option. Onto our spells, we have our Kashtira Birth, obviously at 3, followed by our Theosis, also at 3. This is something that you could potentially drop down to 2, but for consistency's sake, I just felt like 3 was a lot better. There are a lot of ways to search it, and of course you are playing consistency cards like the Pot of Prosperity, but I just think that having a 3rd one is a lot better. We have our 3 copies of Planet Raceoff. Obviously we want our Searcher for the deck. We have our 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity for consistency, and our 1 Terraforming to, of course, search for our field spell. Onto the traps, we have our 2 one-ofs in Big Bang and Preparations. Big Bang is really important because you'll be able to resummon something off of your attached materials on the Shangri, but honestly it also does come up for its pseudo-evenly effect quite a bit. There are a lot of times where this card is just glued to my hand and I'll end on like a Shangri and then my opponent will spam the board and I'll just flip the Big Bang and there's really nothing they can do about it. And finishing off, we have Infinite Impermanence to round out at 40 cards. Let's show you guys the extra. Now, for the extra, I'm actually only going to show you guys 14 cards, and that's because I can't personally decide what I like best in the 15th slot, but I will give you guys the option and the ability to choose for yourself. I'll show you the 2 cards that I'm kind of waving back and forth on, but obviously, first off, we have our 1 copy of Shangri-Ira. You don't need any more than this. You needed more of this when a Riseheart was legal, but without a Riseheart, you're just never going to need more of it. We have our 1 copy of Dark Armed and our 1 copy of Mega Phantom Beast Dracosac. This is very crucial for the combo that I'm going to show you guys. This is how you actually make your way into the Heatsoul. We have our 1 copy of Big Eye and our 1 copy of Gradiel. Now, Gradiel is something that Luke Tyler did actually cut in his most recent one, but I think that this is really important for future-proofing the deck, because it has a really good matchup against something like Fire King, being able to just get rid of cards from your opponent's graveyards. So I think that this is really important to keep in. And then, of course, we have our 1 copy of Zeus, because we do play a ton of XYZs. Onto the extra deck, we have our 2 copies of Link Spider. This is super important for the combo into Heatsoul because you're going to take both of these Link Spiders and link them into your copy of G-Golem Crystal Heart, which G-Golem Crystal Heart will then be able to reborn one of your Link Spiders, which is how you're able to link into your Heatsoul. And Heatsoul is obviously really good because it is a 2-card combo that gets you here. It'll draw you 2 cards, meaning that it fully replaces itself, but you're not just ending on the Heatsoul, you're also ending on an IP Masquerena or an SP, depending on how you want to do your combo, and a Fenrir as well. So it's really, really cool, really, really strong. Speaking of, we are playing our IP and our SP. These are just super important cards for the upcoming format. And then we have our 1 copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker is really strong because if you can make your Heatsoul, you can make this, because you're always going to have your Heatsoul and your Draco Sack, meaning that you'll be able to get, I believe it's 3 pops, because you're going to have 3 different attributes of Link monsters in your graveyard, and a 5300 attack monster, which is really strong. And finally, we have the Baron de Flor. Again, that is 14 cards. I do have the other 2 over here. We're going to talk about them. And those are going to be the Flare Metal and the Typhon. Both of these have their specific use cases. Obviously, the Flare Metal is a way to kind of put your opponent on a better habit type of hand if you're not quite able to go for lethal and you leave them at a very small amount of life points, limiting the number of number of activatable effects that they are able to use. Definitely puts them on a bit of a timer. And the Typhon is just really decent for breaking boards when you otherwise wouldn't be able to break them. So one of these 2 is going to be the 15th card. I'm just not really sure which one, which is why I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. But that is the extra. Let's show you guys that combo. And really quick before we get into the combo, I do just want to let you guys know about an event that I am doing this upcoming Friday, January 19th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that is going to be a live stream box opening on one of my channel sponsors apps. That is going to be Whatnot. Definitely go ahead and check it out, because the way that it works is if you sign up with my affiliate link, you get $15 towards your purchase. Unfortunately, that doesn't count for shipping and taxes, but you will get free $15 to spend, which essentially means you can get 3 packs of Maze of Millennia, because what I'm doing is the boxes that I'm going to be opening, hopefully you guys will purchase those packs. I'll open them on stream so you can see what you get. Then I will ship you out the product. So for just the price of shipping, you get 3 free packs, and who knows, maybe you'll pull the much sought after Bonfire or a transaction rollback. Definitely go ahead and check it out. It's free money, it supports the channel, it would be greatly appreciated, and hopefully you guys will come and hang out with me on Friday. Alright, so for the combo, there are several different ways into it, and pretty much you just need to be able to put 2 level 7s on your board without XYZ locking yourself, which only really happens if you use Theosis or the special summon for Rise Heart. I do want to say that you can use Rise Heart for this combo as long as you normal summon him, but we're just going to show you guys the easiest way into it, and that is going to be Unicorn Fenrir. So we're going to start things off by special summoning out our Unicorn, which is of course going to let us search a spell. We are going to search for our Birth. We can immediately activate our Birth, which allows us to normal summon a level 7 without tribute, so we will normal summon out our copy of Fenrir. Here we'll use the Fenrir effect to search. We're going to go ahead and search for our Scareclaw. We will use that a little bit later on in the combo, but for now we'll take both the Unicorn and the Fenrir, and we will overlay them into our copy of Draco Sack. Draco Sack is then going to detach in order to summon out 2 tokens, which I didn't grab, so we'll go ahead and just use these as tokens for now. And you'll take 1 of your tokens, and you'll link that off into a Link Spider, and then you'll take the other token and also link that off into a Link Spider. Here you'll take both of your Link Spiders, linking them off into your copy of G-Golem Crystal Heart. G-Golem Crystal Heart will then be able to reborn one of your Link Spiders, and you can use the Golem and the Link Spider to go into your copy of Heatsoul. Now, Heatsoul here will pay 1,000 to draw a card. Ideally, you're going to draw a hand trap, but it doesn't matter. You're just replacing resources you've used at this point. And now is when we are going to use our Scareclaw. We're going to go ahead and summon it out by banishing specifically the Unicorn from our graveyard. And now what we can do is we can take the Scareclaw and the Draco Sack, and we're going to link them off into either our IP or our SP. What you can do, it depends on whether or not you want to play around Nibiru. Luke Tyler goes over this in his video. If you're disrespecting Nibiru, you go into the Masquerena, because the Masquerena will give you an additional interruption on the Little Knight. If you're trying to respect the Nibiru, you go into the Little Knight, because if they nib you, you can go ahead and banish the Heatsoul and the Little Knight and get both back at the end phase through the Nibiru. So it just really depends on what you want to do. I like being a little bit greedy, so we're going to go ahead and go for the Masquerena. But now what we can do is we can go ahead and use our Birth, which will allow us to reborn. We're going to go ahead and reborn out our Fenrir, and then we are going to pass our turn. On our opponent's turn, we can go ahead and use the Heatsoul one more time to draw another card, meaning that we have 5 cards in our hand. We have a Fenrir as an interruption and a Masquerena as an interruption. Birth will technically be an interruption as well. And yeah, that is pretty good. You have your full hand still, you set up a pretty decent board, and you just kind of get in there. And there you guys have it. That is going to be my take on the Kashtira Heatsoul deck profile. I definitely think that this is a stronger option than I would have given it credit for a couple of weeks ago. I thought that this deck was just absolutely dead, but I have very clearly been proven wrong. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know the deal. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share with your friends. As always, check out the channel sponsor Dueling Guard. Using code Insane18, you can get 5% off your entire order. And don't forget, I will be live streaming on Whatnot this upcoming Friday, January 19th at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. to be more specific, and you guys can essentially just get 3 free packs of Maze of Millennia, because if you sign up with my link, you get $15 towards your purchase, you get free product, I get some channel support, we all win, so why not do it? I will see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching, I will see you in the next one.